All right.
Okay, every week I tell myself that I'm going to eat healthy and stick to a diet. So, in the morning I start off with the yogurt. For snack I have a protein bar. And then for lunch I have a sensible lunch. And then 3 o'clock comes. My kids come home from school. And then now it's all about junk food, fast food between practices, late dinners after practices, and always a bedtime snack. What just happened? My diet just went out the door. When I seen this quote from Toady Fields, I've been on a diet for 2 weeks and all I lost is 2 weeks. I laugh every time because that is just me. I can't seem to stick to a diet, and within 2 weeks I'm starting another one. Just like me, many people find it hard to become motivated to diet. I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why people fail their diets. 1, peer influences. 2, lack of physical activity. And 3, psychological reasons. Peer influence is a battle for many dieters according to Weight Watchers. Like I said, the diet goes out the door every time my kids come home from school. I'm easily influenced by their junk food, and I would much rather eat what they're eating. For example, when I'm rushing to get them to practice, I would much rather eat with them. I consider that my family time. Eating in the car at Del Taco, Burger King, McDonald's, and off we go to practice. I'd much rather do that than sit home and prepare myself a healthy meal. For many people, it's easy to eat with their peers and eat what they're eating. For example, we all know that food pusher. When I used to work in an office, the food pusher happened to be my mother-in-law. For 15 years, she has influenced me to always join her and eat whatever she's eating. She would always come to the office, bring donuts, bagels. We would always take out or order takeout lunch. And she's always had a pleasant way of sharing her snacks that she always had in her desk or her office and with everybody in the office. So it just made it that much easier for me to skip a diet and eat what everybody else is eating. Secondly, it's sadly that people fail their diets because the lack of incorporated physical activity into their daily routine. According to Christine McKinney at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, dieting and exercise go hand in hand. Exercise is essential in dieting because it helps shed those unwanted calories. Let's face it, exercise is hard work, and people don't want to work hard, and mainly because they don't want to have those achy, sore muscles after they work out. I'm sure many of you know the feeling of starting a workout program, and after that first day, your body feels like it just got ran over by a truck. Some people have no tolerance for pain. For example, I have a 25-year-old cousin who has never really exercised in her life, and all of a sudden she's got to the point in her life where it's not, the pounds are starting to creep up on her, and she bought this bike. And she swears to me that she's going to ride this bike every day. So she left it at my house. In my neighborhood, I have a real hilly area. So she swears that she's going to get her exercise, ride her bike, and she's going to go up and down the hills because that's going to help her lose her weight. First day she went, she took off, went down the hill, rode around. She came back. She had to walk her bike up the hill. And then the next day, she pushed herself to really ride the bike up the hill, and that's been it. She's never rode that bike again. So, on the other hand, exercise can also kind of be discouraging to people because people hit plateaus and they don't get to see the results that they wish to see. Lastly, people fail their diets because of psychological reasons such as low self-esteem and stress. According to Dr. Roger Gold, author and creator of the Shrink Yourself program, he says 95% of diets fail because of stress and emotional eating. People with low self-esteem hang on to their unwanted weight like a security blanket. They want to avoid personal issues and use failing diets as a part of their security. So, whereas on the other hand, stress affects the majority of people emotionally and triggers that emotional eating. For example, Oprah Winfrey claims that she's an emotional eater. So on her daytime show, she has done many shows about weight loss and dieting, and she has even talked about her own challenges that she has faced with her weight. However, if we all had her fortune, we may be able to cope better, and we could afford a fitness guru like hers to keep us physically and emotionally motivated. So in conclusion, even Oprah battles dieting to this day. All the money in the world cannot solve the diet dilemmas. Failed diets are a lack of a person's motivation. So we face peer pressure to eat, we fail to exercise, and we hang on to our emotions and stress ourselves out. So like the saying goes, no pain, no gain.
All right, I like the setup of the problem. You had a nice transition and a personal story. Your goal's very clear. You preview what the contents are going to be when you're in the speech. The transitions between points are very solid. You've got good content there. And at the end of the speech, you've got a really good conclusion. So all the structural stuff is really solid. On the visual factors, your gestures, you're a little more natural when you're talking about your personal stories and you get away from the cards. You seem to relax a little bit more. Your hands get more involved in the presentation, and I think you also connect more with the audience. That's when your expressions are the best. But even when you're reading, I think you have very solid eye contact. The cards seem a little big. You know, you got those 5x8 cards, and so they wave around a little much and maybe draw attention. And because they're so big, you have to handle them typically with both hands. And so I think that limits you a little bit, and you could be a little more expressive with those other kinds of things. Your body movement, you do stand in the one spot the whole time, and I think you could have emphasized a few points by walking the transitions or stepping up toward us a bit. I think that would have helped a little bit. On your voice, you project pretty well. Within your range, I think you've got very good variety. It's very clear and understandable what you're saying. I think that your pacing is best when you get away from the reading and when you're telling your story about your cousin who has the problem riding the bike, or you talk about the times when the kids come home and then you want to eat the stuff that they're eating and those kinds of things. And it seems to be a little more natural and it flows more smoothly when you're doing that. I thought the speech was actually very well prepared, and I like the summary at the end. You've got a nice exit line. All right, thank you.